Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloki Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So as ordered by devotees, yesterday we'll have Jagannath Katha today. But I know for sure half an hour is not enough. So if the Katha goes on for 2-3 sessions, 2-3 days, please don't mind, please bear with me. So Lord Jagannath is very merciful, but very mysterious Lord. This whole place, Jagannath Puri Dham, or it's known Purushottam Dham, Shri Dham, so many names it has. Actually, if anybody has a chance to go there, and he would know, it's a very mysterious place. It's not just like any other Dham. It's different. It's completely different. But that is Jagannath. That's how he likes it. The form of Jagannath, again, it's very different. It's not like when we go to Radha Krishna temple or any other deities we see, they're different. But Jagannath is completely different. But this is how he wanted to appear. So first we will try to discuss the appearance of Lord Jagannath, why he appeared in this way. So in Satyuga, there was a king named Maharaj Indradumna. He was in Avantipur, and he was a very pious king, and he used to do lots of yagyas, and lots of tirthayatris used to come to his yagya. So one day after doing this yagya and feeding all the tirthayatris, he was discussing with all the ministers and the Brahmins of his kingdom. He said, I have done so much of yagyas, I've got so much of pious activities I've done. But now I am feeling like I want to take darshan of the Supreme Lord. So anybody who is here can tell me which deity I should take darshan of, and I'll get the moksha just by taking darshan. So the news was sent all over the town, all over his kingdom, that anybody who can recommend. So one tirthayatri came and he said, yes, Maharaj, I've been to this place, wonderful place and beautiful deity I have seen. And if anybody goes and takes darshan of that deity, he will definitely get liberation. So Maharaj Indradumna was very eager. Who is this deity? What are we talking about? So that yatri said that there's a place in Odisha, and there's a blue mountain. It's called Nilachal, and on top of Nilachal mountain, there is a kalpavriksh, that's a vatvriksh, and I'm forgetting eastern or northern side, whichever side. And then there's a Rohini Kund, and there's a pond over there, which is called Rohini Kund, and the water over in that pond is so pure that anybody who takes a dip in that pond, he goes back to the spiritual world. And then next to it, there is this beautiful temple, and with this deity, Nila Madhav. And that deity is made of Indra Neel Mani. It's made of that sapphire, blue sapphire. And it's a Chaturbhuj deity, Chaturbhuj, beautiful deity, and his nose is like sesame flower, all his hands are extended to his knees, and in his hands he's holding Shankh, Chakra, Gada and Padma. And besides him, on the left side of that deity is sitting Lakshmi Ji. And anybody who takes even darshan of that deity, so beautiful deity, he goes back home, back to the Vaikuntha world. So Maharaj Indradumna was Of course, in the book, it is described in wonderful language. I can't even repeat all the language it was described in about the form of Lord Nilamadhav. So Maharaj Indradun, when he heard that the glories of Lord Nilamadhav, he was so mesmerized, and he said, "Let us all go there right now and take darshan of this deity and fulfill the goal of our lives. Why we are sitting here?" But then one minister or one Brahman, he told Maharaj Indradun, "Maharaj, let's send one of our representative there. Let's him go first, check out the place and make arrangements for you. And then when he comes back, gives you report, then we'll all go. We don't want to go like that." So Maharaj Indradun thought, yeah, it's a good idea. So that he had his son, Brahman had his son, what was his name? Vidya. No, it's not Vidya, Nidhi. Something Vidya. I will try to find out. I don't remember the name. So they sent that Brahman. He said, "Okay, why don't you go ahead, check out the place, check out the deity, and when you come back, then we'll take the king with us." So this Brahman went ahead, and he went to that village, to that place on the side of Mahanadi River, and from far distant he saw that mountain, Nilachal mountain. It was bluish mountain. Then he went towards that mountain. Now there are two stories that go along. So one story is that is very famous in ISKCON, and one story is which I read some time back. So I would go with the story that is famous in ISKCON. So this Brahman, why I'm forgetting his name, Vidya, something like, it's not Vidya Nidhi, it's Vidyapati. Thank you, Prabhu. So I need the mercy of devotees. They are there to rescue me all the time. So Vidyapati, so he went, but by the time he reached that mountain, the foothills of that mountain, there was big forest, thick forest, and he could not find his way, how he was going to go on top of the mountain. So there, when he was roaming around, he saw a light coming from one of the houses. So he went to that house. There was one girl, her name was Lalita, and she was preparing food. So she let him in. She asked him, "Okay, who are you?" And he said, I'm just a traveler. I'm trying to see this deity of Nilamadhav." And he said, "I'm lost." She said, "Okay, my father will be home soon. And then you can stay in this house, and then let's see how we can help you." So that family was of a Shabar family. Shabar means they used to keep pigs. They used to have pigs farms. So, but her father, when he came, his name was Vishvasu. He came, and he was smelling very nice. He didn't look like the person who would raise pigs. So then Lalita introduced Vidyapati to her father, and father actually didn't like the idea of him staying, but he said, "Okay, it's a traveler coming from long distance away." Somehow Vidyapati had inclination that this Vishvasu, he knows about Lord Nilamadhav and how to get there. But Vishvasu had told Lalita not to tell anybody about Nilamadhav. Because the reason was because Nilamadhav had actually it was a prediction in the village that one day King Indradun will come, and then he will come and take over the worship of Nilamadhav. And Vishvasu was so attached to serving Nilamadhav that he didn't want to give it away. So Vidyapati was staying, and at night, every night, Vishwasu would go to serve Nilamada without telling anybody, and Vidyapati could not figure out where he goes. And so while staying there, he fell in love with Lalita, this daughter of Vishwasu. Although Vidyapati was a Brahman and Lalita was from a Chandal family, actually, not even Shudra family. But he fell in love, and then he asked Vishwasu if he can marry Lalita. So Vishwasu agreed, but after they got married, then once Vidyapati asked Lalita that now you have to tell me where your father goes every night. So Lalita, she was scared of her father, but then her husband was asking, she could not say anything to him. So she told him the truth that my father goes and worships Lord Nilamada every night. So next day when Vishwasu came and Lalita told him, and then Vidyapati asked Vishwasu, I want to take darshan of Nilamada. So Vishwasu first he was very angry, but then he said, okay, it's my daughter's husband, so it's okay, I can take him. So he said, okay, there's one condition, you can come with me, but there's one condition that I have to blindfold you. You cannot see where we are going. So Vidyapati agreed, but then he kept some mustard seeds with him. So while they were walking on this through the forest and on the mountain, he kept dropping the mustard seeds on the way. So his idea was they will all grow up in mustard plants, and that the way he can find the way where he's going, where he went. So together they both went on top of the mountain, and there when they went, and Vishwasu took out the blindfold, and then there was this pond, Rohini Kund, and Vishwasu said, just stay here and let me go collect flowers and fruits for the worship of the deity, and then we'll go and take darshan of Nilamada. So while Vidyapati was standing there at the bank of this pond, from the tree that was nearby, a crow fell in the pond. And as soon as he fell in the pond, immediately he developed 4 hands and he went back to Vaikuntha. So Vidyapati was very astonished seeing all this. And he was like, let me just jump in this pond right now and I'll go back. So he was about to jump, and then there was a message from above. The sound came that you have to go back and tell Maharaj Indradyumna right now. You cannot leave your duty. You cannot finish your life like that. So don't jump in the pond right now. So he stopped. So meanwhile, Vishwasu came back with wonderful flowers, and they both went and he worshipped Lord Nilamada. And then Vishwasu, there was another garland over there that Lord Nilamada was wearing. Vishwasu gave that garland to Vidyapati. And that garland had beautiful aroma, beautiful smell. It was very enchanting. And Vidyapati asked him, where this garland come from? So Vishwasu said, actually, all the demigods, Indra, Brahmaji, everybody, they come here and they worship Nilamada every day. And this is a garland made of flowers from heaven. So that's why this garland will never become stale, and the freshness and the flowers will never become like, they will always have the aroma, right? Same aroma all forever. So they worship the deities, and they worship Nilamada, and when they finished the worship, they came down, and again Vishwasu blindfolded Vidyapati. And when they came home, and after a few days, Vidyapati left the house and he came back to give the news to Maharaj Indradyumna. So when they came back, and Maharaj Indradyumna was very happy hearing, and especially the garland he got from Vidyapati, that this is a garland that King Indra and other demigods, they offer every day to Nilamada. So Maharaj Indradyumna, then he He took all the everybody from the kingdom, all his ministers, all his family members, and they said, let's all go to Nilamata, take darshan of Nilamata. So they brought the whole army, the whole town actually, basically. They came and they, they stopped at the bank of Mahanadi River. Actually, before Maharaj Indradum started, Narad Muni also came, because, as we said, we are discussing, Narad Muni is always at the right place at the right time. So Maharaj Indradum was very happy to see Narad Muni, and he told him, Narad Muni, let's go. We're going to go and see Lord Lord Nilamadav at Nilachal Parvat. So Narad Muni, although he knows everything, so he said, yes, let's go. So when King Indradum came to this Mahanadi river, and he had a camp over there, then the king of Odisha, he came to see Maharaj Indradum. So king of Odisha came and he told Maharaj Indradum that, I know you have come here to take darshan of Lord Nilamadav, but I have a sad news. And the news is that the whole mountain is covered by golden sand now. There was big sandstorm and the whole place got covered by sand. So we don't know where Nilamadav is. He is gone. And King of Odisha was saying that because of the sandstorm and Nilamadav leaving the place, my whole kingdom is facing so much of famine and so many problems. But since you have come now, because you are a pure devotee of the Lord, I'm pretty sure there will be a reversal of my fortune. So then King Indradum, he was very sad. He said, what has this happened? I came all the way and I waited for such a long time. And now I'm not even fortunate. I'm so unfortunate. I cannot even take darshan of Nilamadav. So he said, there's no point in me living. So he sat down at the banks of the river Mahanadi and he said, I'll fast till death. Narad Muni came to him. Narad Muni said, no, my dear king, don't do that, because the Lord actually sent me to you. He asked me to tell you that you will not see him in the form of Nilamadav now, but you will see him in the Daru Brahm. Daru Brahm means a Lord made of wood, in that form. So then king was told that next day when you go take bath in Mahanadi river, there'll be a big log of wood that will come floating in that river, and you bring that log of wood and you make the deities out of that log. So, okay, so next day when Maharaj Indradum was taking bath, so sure enough, this big log of wood, somehow it came floating. Actually, Narad Muni told him that this wood is special wood. Actually, it is made from the hair of the Lord himself. Lord, when he was taking bath, his hair fell down, and from this hair, this log of wood was made. So Maharaj Indradum, he found this big log of wood. So he asked his soldiers to carry this log of wood out. All the soldiers tried together. They couldn't bring that log of wood out of the water. So then Maharaj was again perplexed, now what to do? So then at night when he was sleeping, in the dream he saw, the Lord came to his dream. He said, call this Vishwavasu, the Savar family, and when he touches the log of wood, I'll come out. So next day Vishwavasu was called, and when he came alone, he could bring the log of wood alone himself. There was no problem. So Maharaj Indradum was very surprised, what is this happening? And now the log of wood came, and then he was told, okay, get the sculptor and get the deities made. So Maharaj Indradum, he called so many sculptors, so anybody who would come, and as soon as they put their hammer and chisel on the wood, the chisel would break, hammer would break, nobody could make the deity. Again he was like, now what is happening? I'm bereft of taking darshan of the Lord. So again, the Lord came to him in dream that tomorrow there'll be an old person. He'll come and he's a sculptor. And if he makes the form, then I will appear. Okay. So next day, as the Lord said, an old man came and he said, okay, my dear king, I'll make the deities out of this wood, but I have a condition. The condition is I'll be inside this room making the deity and nobody should come knocking at the door and nobody should come inside that room. And if anybody comes, I'll leave the place and I'll leave it unfinished. Okay, no problem. And you will hear the sound of hammer and chisel, and but just don't come inside. Okay. So the the carving started, and the deities were made. So for 14 days, they kept on hearing the sound of hammer and chisel. And 15 days, there was no sound. So Queen Maharani Gundicha, who was the wife of King Indradyumna, he told in Maharaj, the Maharaj, maybe this old sculptor, he was very old, maybe he died or something happened to him. Maybe he fell sick. That's why there's no sound today. For 14 days, we were hearing the sound, and there is no sound at all today. What happened? Why don't you open and see? King Indradyumna said, no, 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 this was a condition. He said, nobody should come inside. But Queen Gundicha was saying, no, no, we should go and see. Maybe something happened to this old man. So they opened the door. And when they opened the door, these three deities, Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, and Sudarshan was there also. And and the sculptor was gone. Weeping, crying, see what did I do? Because I didn't wait properly, so the sculptor left, and the deities are unfinished. They are unfinished. What did I do? I committed an offense and this and that. So then Narad Muni came. He said, no, no, the deities are not unfinished. They are completely finished. It's actually in this form the Lord wanted to appear. So what is this form? Oh, actually, I wanted to see. Okay. Somehow my phone is falling off today. So that form, I'll finish it of that story with the form of the Lord. So actually what had happened after when Krishna and Balaram, they had come to Dwarka from Vrindavan. So Krishna, when he was in Dwarka, he was married, he had 16,108 queens. But at night, he would still be thinking of gopis and he would still be talking about Radharani, Radhe, Radhe, Gopi, Gopi, Vrindavan. So all the queens, they were surprised. What exactly happened in Vrindavan? So what did he do in Vrindavan that he cannot even forget Vrindavan? We are serving him so nicely, but he cannot forget Vrindavan. He's always thinking of Vrindavan, always thinking of Radharani, always thinking of gopis. So they were surprised, but there was nobody to tell them what happened in Vrindavan. But then they found Mother Rohini, who's mother of Balramji, because she was there in Vrindavan and she had come because she was the wife of Maharaj Vasudev. So she had come to Dwarka. So Rohini Mata said, okay, I'll tell you what pastimes did they do in Vrindavan. But the problem is, if Krishna and Balram, if they hear about the past, if they will get a wind of these pastimes, they'll come running and they'll disturb us. So all the queens, they gathered around Rohini, and Rohini ji told Subhadra, who was a sister of Krishna Balram, you stand at the door guarding the gate, so nobody should come inside, especially these two boys. So Queen Mother Rohini started telling the pastimes of Krishna Balram and Vrindavan, how they were so little and what naughty things they did and how many demons they were killing and so on and so forth. So these pastimes are so beautiful, so wonderful. although Krishna and Balram, they were in Sudharma hall taking care of some official business, but they got this wind that these pastimes are going on. And Mother Rohini is talking about these pastimes. They said, we have to go and hear those pastimes. So they both came running to that place. But Subhadra was in the middle of the door. So Jagannath, Krishna stood on one side and Balram stood on the other side of Subhadra. And they were in rapt attention. They were listening to those pastimes, their own pastimes, but being told by Mother Rohini. And Subhadra was also listening. And while three of them, they were listening and listening, they got into Mahabhav. Mahabhav is, although it's very difficult for conditioned soul like us to describe, it is that bhav, it's the mood of ecstasy where they become stunned. So that's why in this form, Krishna's eyes, Balram's eyes, Subhadra's eyes, they became big, dilated eyes. And their hands and feet, legs, they got shrunk inside the body. That is a form of Mahabhav. So they were in that form and listening. Just by listening to their own stories, own pastimes, they got that form. But then, as usual, Narad Muni is at the right place at the right time. He was passing by and he saw that form of the Lord. And he came down and he said, oh, there, I saw that form. And when Narad Muni came down, they all just came out of their Mahabhav form and they became regular. But Narad Muni said, oh my Lord, that form was so beautiful. Where is that form going to get worshipped? So then Krishna said, that form will be worshipped in Jagannath Puri, Purushottam Kshetra. And actually what happens is, as we know, Brahmaji lives for 100 years. So first 50 years of Brahmaji, that belonged to Nilamadhav. And that's when Nilamadhav disappeared and he said, next 50 years of Brahmaji, or rest of the creation, it will be Jagannathji who will take care of the whole creation. So that is the form of Jagannath. So he is a Lord of the universe, but that's why his form is like that. Apparently, he doesn't show his hands or legs, but they are there, but they are all sunk in his body because he is in the form of ecstasy. And that ecstasy form is actually form of Mahabhav. So we'll stop here because it's already over time, and tomorrow we'll continue with Jagannath Katha. Hare Krishna. So anybody have any questions?
I'm not able to hear your voice clearly. It's very low. No, it's not there at all.
So I guess no questions. So we should stop here. Okay, so I'll stop here and see you all tomorrow. You all have a wonderful day.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Just
Can you hear me, Prabhuji?
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, can you hear us? Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Yes, I can now.
Prabhuji, I hope tomorrow we'll have the continuation of this as well.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
We'll
Thank you,
continue
Prabhuji.
that. Yes, Archana Mata, you had a question?
I am speechless. I have a Jagannathji. You can imagine what my condition is today. I'm totally into it. And I didn't know the story, imagine. And I'm, it's been many years now I have a DTs and I don't know. I don't know. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's really amazing.
You'll hear some more pastimes of Jagannath ji, and
Serious.
then you will realize who is Jagannath. I mean, I have limited knowledge, but whatever limitations I have, he has no limitations, so he will
Yes.
hear, and
You
you'll
see,
really
seriously.
appreciate his position.
Seriously, I have a tears in my eyes and I goosebumps and I have no words. I don't know where I am today. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mata. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji.